Oh, my fault. I was in.
Your fault, bro. Your fault,
brother. That beat though, that countdown beat is ridiculous upon the soul, and the body it's absurd, brother. For those of you who are listening on the audio version of the show, go watch the YouTube video, and you'll see what I just did. I'm not gonna let you just not know what I just did. Go watch it. Ridiculousness.
Oh my god.
Whew, whew. Wow, summer came back soon, didn't it?
Yeah, bro. Been back since yesterday.
Didn't nobody call for it though. Didn't nobody call for that shit. Hello, welcome. Obviously. Welcome to another action-packed episode of, I don't know why I did that. Another action-packed episode of Fandome Initiative. Let's get the introductions out of the way and let's just start having some fun like we aren't already having fun. The man across from me who I saw playing with his blinds earlier to get the right amount of luminescence upon the god-like beard.
Yeah.
This is the cinema CEO. He is the cinema god. This is Michael Williams, everyone.
What's up, y'all?
Everyone say hello. Everyone say hello.
What is going on?
Myself, I am the hungriest man in the room. You can take that however you want. I am also the thirstiest man right now because I do not like the heat. And I just came from work. I ran home from work as I was toiling and doing my thing. Ran home, shedded my clothing, then threw on more clothing. Got myself situated. Got a bottle of agua set up. I am the hungriest man in the room. I am the hungry bleak. I am Antonio Pomares. This is the Fandome Initiative. You're welcome. So,
yeah, bro.
So today it's gonna be that type of show, folks. Yeah. All right. So we're 1 week removed from New York Comic Con. I just want to talk about that for a minute. First off, 2022. We need to be in the building.
That's true. That's very true.
I don't know for people who are listening to the audio. I'm not going to tell you what the motion that I just did, but I'm just going to do it again for the people who are watching. Got to be in the building. Dude, I mean, obviously we didn't go because of health concerns. Obviously, it's still a thing. Wash your hands. Wash your hands and loosen up your knees because we're still wearing shorts out here. So still put on lotion, folks, please. Please, especially during the summer. I mean, the winter, because your skin gonna be chapped. Knees gonna be bloody. Yeah, but we're a week removed, and I have that usual kind of depression feeling of after New York Comic Con where I'm like, and I didn't even go.
Yeah.
But being in New York that Thursday and seeing everyone doing their cosplay and speaking to a couple of people, thank you so much to Sharice Murphy and Gregor Anderson, LESA, for just chatting with me for a little bit. One of them was an impromptu bump into while eating.
No smoke.
Brother is muscles. Haitian sensation. Boy, his muscles. His muscles got muscle. His muscles got, each muscle has a different zip code. That's how muscled up he is. That don't even make no sense. But it's just this weird feeling, man, of wow. And even like JD Rosario of Unstoppable Comics.
Yeah.
He was, and I was like, I shook my head like, damn, man, this is. So next year, folks, we're gonna do everything we can in the meantime to just keep coming at you, keep consistency, keep talking to you, keep bringing you the goodie of the goodness, because we want to be there. We want to be in the building. We want to be where the magic is happening. We want to be sitting in panels. Hulu Theater called Michael. They emailed him. They smoke signaled. They said, look, we haven't heard from you. We want to know if you're okay. We have not seen you. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Because Saturday is your day, man. That's your day for Hulu.
It's my day. Unfortunately, they have so much construction going on over by.
That's right. Yeah.
That's probably why they didn't let them use Hulu this year. I'm sure that's probably why.
I mean, Hulu and Outlander. I mean, those are two staples of New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Fucking Outlander.
Yeah.
Not that I watch the show, but I'm just sitting there like I don't. But it has a huge following there. I didn't realize that.
Rabid. That fan base is rabid.
I think that might be
in a
one of
good way, not
Star's.
a bad way.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that might be one of Star's biggest shows. I didn't realize that.
It's always good to see fandom that's kind of like that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because
Like
hey,
very
there are people
passionate.
out there. Yeah, there are people who are passionate about the show, who the show resonates with, and they get it. They love it. So
Yeah,
that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I had no, because when we were there, those 2 times we were there, I was like, are they really?
Yeah,
I was like,
this show that good?
yeah. But I didn't know that it was novels. I didn't know like any of that stuff. I didn't.
Yeah.
I think I watched the first episode and I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
And I just didn't. But I understand the appeal. I understand, the sci-fi time travel kind of appeal to it, and like conundrums such like that, and paradoxes and such. I won't be watching. I think it's over. I think is it done? I think maybe. Or I think it's done every year. I think, and it's never done. I'm gonna be real with you.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, I know that this guy is part of the production of that show, Ronald Moore, who I know from Battlestar Galactica, and I also know from another show that I actually been watching this past summer. That not that I need to recommend another streaming service to people. I don't.
Another.
But if you can, in some way, get a free trial to Apple TV Plus, you should watch a show called what's the name of the show? For All Mankind.
For All Mankind?
Yeah, I watched it this past summer. I watched both seasons. There's 2 seasons so far. There's going to be a third.
Well, I think that every show, the first episode is free. I think.
Yeah,
I know. I watched Ted Lasso. That was Jason Sudeikis is just funny as hell, and I love
that show's really
British
good, brother.
Stuff. So combining the two, I was like, bet.
Yeah.
So I might be jumping into that. Possibly, I might be jumping into Apple. I also want to see Foundation.
Yes, I want to watch that.
Looks incredible. I didn't know anything about that. It looks incredible.
Yeah. For All Mankind basically is a really well done alternate history show on what if the United States didn't make it to the moon first.
Oh, that's the premise. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So it creates all of these interesting ripples on what you already know in history, and the things that happen because that one event is changed. So it's like everything is kind of I don't even know how to describe to you. Everything is kind of fast forwarded in history. Like the Russians get there first. They're also the first country that manages to put women on the moon, unbeknownst to the Americans, who find out literally like almost kind of like in a surprise moment, because they think that the astronaut that's up there is a man, and it's not. It's a woman. So that kind of fast forwards them to getting women into the space program and how they do that. And it literally changes everything in history. Also, outside of NASA, like it literally changes the political landscape in a lot of ways. It's, oh my God, it's really well done. Really well done.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I just next year, I just really,
I know there's just so much stuff. There's so much,
dude. And I know there wasn't a lot there because of the pandemic and stuff like that. So not a lot of companies where they do it, but still, some of the things I heard from there were really great. But just being a part of the scene and just mingling in there would have been great. So I know next year when more people are there and things are better. Yeah, hopefully things are better. Hopefully they're not worse. Jesus,
right?
It's 1 year later. Just jeez, and bet.
Yeah,
we're there next year. I'm cosplaying.
Absolutely,
cosplaying, brother. I already know who I want to cosplay. I'm not playing games. Cosplaying the fitness piece. I'm winning contests. I'm snatching.
Cosplay East.
Nah. Let me take a swig out of this. Yeah, nah, brother, nah. That's no. That jeez, the amount of if you know, you know. But God damn it, this.
Sausage and peppers, brother.
You good, my guy? Jesus, what the hell? It's just a weird time. But on the heels of New York Comic Con, we have DC Fandome, which is today.
Yes.
This is DC's virtual fan event concert. This has been going on for what, 2-3 years?
Yeah, 2 years. This is the second year, I think.
Yeah. And this is where, like, this is kind of like their not to be funny, but this is like their Hall H. This is like their own personal Hall H.
Pretty much.
I actually kind of like this because it's just an event where it's like your own event, your own scrum. Like, you can do what you want to do like that. You can do it virtually. You can, if you want to throw it on, HBO Max, you can do it. Like, there are a lot of beautiful things that they can do.
Yeah.
I hope that Marvel/Disney does this at some point. They do something like that. And it's a great way to get more subscribers, more viewers. Yep. Awesome. It doesn't have to compete with New York Comic Con, because
no, not at all.
It's like apples and oranges, really. You know what I mean? You can still do special things, and you can get, okay, for this event, we're going to have a special viewing of this show one time. Yeah. And within that time period, after that, it's gone until it does premiere maybe a month or two later.
Yeah, definitely.
You can definitely do stuff like that. If I see my ideas coming out, I'm copyright. I'm coming. The smoke is coming. I'm coming for your asses. Smoke is coming, because ideas I've seen a lot of people start to do. Whatever you're thinking about doing, I was bored of 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm ahead of the curve on a great deal, many things. I could write a list. So some of the things I would like to hear about, because DC / Warner Brothers, let's include them in here. They have. I want them to just get out of their heads of competing. Don't. It's not about competition. It's just about putting out good product. I know obviously they're businesses, they're corporations. They still want to compete. And we need to make more money than them. What have you? Whatever. Marvel / Disney had a huge jump on you. They did. Let's just be honest. You had more movies out, if you count maybe some of the Batman stuff. No, not more movies, but there have been a lot of Batman movies, Superman movies. Those are the only properties that you've really touched on. And you have had more TV shows, I want to say, just because of the CW, WB, and that. But that was an old one.
Chicken J Frog.
that guy.
Yeah.
But just do your own thing. What would you like to see them talk about? Because they don't start till like 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, apparently, which is really great.
Yeah. I know how you feel about Master Wayne Incorporated, but I'd like to see a little bit more of the Batman film that has been talked about for the last 2 odd years. They dropped a teaser trailer earlier later towards the end of this week, which I didn't watch. I'm waiting to see this new trailer cut that they're going to show at this thing, because they put which is why I was confused, because I don't know which movie I saw, but I saw the Batman trailer with one of the movies that I saw. Now, whether that's the old one that they dropped a long time ago, maybe it is. I don't know. But I would just like to see more of where this movie is kind of going, right? Because all we've ever heard about with this movie is that it's going to be more of Bruce the detective, right? Not necessarily Bruce the guy who goes out and, opens up a can of whoop ass on people, right? Like, it's more about his detective skill and how he becomes the world's greatest detective. So I'd like to see more of it. What I've seen so far, I like. I think Pattinson is going to surprise a lot of people because Pattinson is a good actor. All the people who were afraid of Pattinson at the beginning, I don't think you need to be worried about this guy. This guy's a good actor. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's going to disappoint. I'd like to see more of what they're doing with the Riddler because that looks really interesting. What they're doing with that. And I saw some pictures of Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle. I'd like to see what she's going to do with this because I like Zoe Kravitz. I think Zoe Kravitz is like really on the verge of being big. I just think that she needs that role that is transformative in her career. And I think that this could be that for her if she does it right. You know what I mean? The other thing that I'm interested in seeing, and I don't know if you saw it floating around on the interwebs this past week, but Young Justice is coming back.
Yes, it's going to be called what? Phantoms?
Phantoms, yeah, which I didn't even know was coming back.
That I knew about.
Yeah.
I obviously, Young Justice obviously is just one of the best series, animated or not, or like live action out there.
Easily.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I want to see more. I want to know more about Black Adam.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
I'm dying to see about Teth Adam. That's, I mean, The Rock has, you know how some actors are just their look, their feel. It's just they were born to play those roles. This is similar to how like Ryan Reynolds born to play Deadpool. It's like he's synonymous with Deadpool. When you see Deadpool in a comic stuff like that, what have you, you hear Ryan Reynolds' voice. Makes total sense. I mean, Dwayne Johnson. You show me somebody who doesn't look and just feel more like Teth Adam, like Black Adam.
Yes.
I want this. I don't know if he's going to have the hair. I'm not sure. I would take bald. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But when he had his hair on and everything like that, he had that widow's peak. He had that widow's peak hard, like it was like there. I want to see that so badly. I want there to be that darker anti-hero movie, and this is it for them, for DC.
Yeah, there's actually something in that movie that I'm really interested in seeing too. Hopefully they'll show a little bit of that too. When I heard that this particular actress was cast as possibly playing this role, I was completely on board with it because I like her from a previous show that I used to love, which was Person of Interest. The actress's name is Sarah Shahi. And from what I understand, she could be playing Isis.
Which I have no problem with at all. Sarah Shahi is just dope. My first sighting of her was the L Word. She came in the later seasons. She played, I think the character's name was Poppy. And just diabolical. Then she was in a show, short-lived show, unfortunately, but a very good show, called Life, with Damian Lewis. Yeah. That show was just so different and just so like wow.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that at all. I enjoy her so much. I'm trying to think. She's in something now. I'm trying to remember the name of the show that she's in now. But she's on something now.
Okay.
Something else I would like to see, because this is pretty much they're talking about movies and just pretty much everything under their umbrella. To vary it up, I hope that they talk about Gotham Knights, which is the video game that is going to be coming out. Where this is a game. Obviously, I would talk about this game. This is a game where it's set in a bit of a near future, and the orphan's dead. The 1%er. Well, I shouldn't say the orphan because there actually is a character called Orphan now in DC. Bruce Wayne is dead. Batman is dead. So this is the story of Red Hood, Tim Drake, Robin, I think Batgirl. I don't know if it's Barbara or Cassie. I think there's 4 characters. Red Hood is one of them as well. There's 4 characters in there. Grayson, obviously, Nightwing. They're coming together to defend Gotham against all these threats that are coming to it. I believe it's like you have four characters at once, and you can switch between them. I'm thinking maybe, or you choose them before the missions. Not sure, but I really do want to check this out. I believe it's open world as well.
Okay.
I want to see that. I want to play that, not just because of, the running gag of me wanting something where Batman is gone.
Yeah.
He's not there.
Right.
He's dead. He's probably not even dead. He's probably going to show up at the end of the game. You know it's going to happen. It's going to be Christian Bale who's going to pop up with Anne Hathaway. Bullshit. No, I'm just joking. But he probably will pop up. But I want to see that. I'd like to see, obviously, Young Justice, like you mentioned. I also want to see if they're going to talk about comics at all. I want to see there's a huge comic coming out this Tuesday because DC does a great thing where, as far as comics wise, they actually release their stuff on Tuesdays. So they get a jump on everyone else, which is a very smart move. I love that they started doing that during the pandemic. There is Nubia and the Amazons.
Okay.
This is Nubia's first series. During the summer, there was a young adult graphic novel that they put out for Nubia, which incredible, got amazing reviews, loved it. I have it. Then during the Future State series, Nubia was one of the characters that was showcased.
Okay.
So now she's going to be getting, I believe it's a 6-issue series written by Stephanie Williams, which I'm so happy that they got her. Stephanie Williams, we know Stephanie Williams. Stephanie Williams did Living Heroes, which was a mashup between like the black heroes of Marvel and Living Single. Hilariously funny, wonderfully drawn by, I believe, O'Neill Jones is the name, I want to say. So funny, so smart, just incredibly well done. This just catapulted her in so many ways. She's doing work for Marvel, she's doing work for DC. Phenomenal, love it. I'm here for it. I can't wait to read that, get up on it. I also want to see what they're going to say as far as, are there any more animated movies? And I want to know if they have any plans for anything else for HBO Max, any more original content that they're going to be putting out.
Yeah.
That's their bread and butter. I mean, you can put stuff out on theaters, that's fine, it's cool, what have you, but your bread and butter right now, which became bigger than I think they thought it would be, and it could be better if they market it and do it right, is HBO Max.
I agree.
They've got, I mean, I want to know if there's going to be another season of Harley Quinn. One of the, so many levels to the writing, to the humor, to the storytelling in that series. Amazing voice actors. I mean, astronomical stuff going on. You will laugh at one moment. Oh, this guy again. Jeez, what the? To, your heart will break at a moment, and you'll cheer for. And you don't really know. Do you want to cheer for Harley because she's still this villain, or is she trying to become this hero? You don't really know. One of the breakout people for me with that series, JB Smoove. Loved him for years. Dude is always hilarious. I mean, if you start watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, Leon is one of the best. Look, there's nobody hungrier than me. Leon in every scene has food. He's always eating, and he's just looking at him like, yeah, JB Smoove is just incredible. One of the funniest cats out there, honestly, comedians. So that's what I'd like to know. I'd like to know what their plans are. I might be asking too deep questions, honestly. Because the questions that I could ask them would be, are infinite. What are you going to do? Are there any other games that you have coming out? Because the greatest games that they've had have been the Batman games. Are you going to put out anything else? Green Arrow game, hell, you know what I mean? Let's be let's be on the island. Before he becomes Green Arrow, his training, whatever, or start out on the island. Then that could be your tutorial. Then you go to Star City, and then you start doing that, what have you. Peacemaker. Let's hear some more about that. I know this is going to be divisive because it's John Cena and because he can be really funny in small doses. Can he carry a show? What's the rest of the cast going to be like? Is it going to be more of an ensemble? How's that going to work out? don't want you to jump the gun on something like that. No pun intended. Seeing it's a character that carries a huge gun, or James Gunn. Wow, that was a layered joke right there. I didn't even mean to do it. It's folks. It's automatic at this point. My jokes are automatic levels. But yeah, that's some stuff that I'd like to hear from them about. Honestly.
Yeah.
You know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I thought this was a good topic for a show, is because I think most fans' relationship status with DC as a whole would be it's complicated.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I want to say their relationship is kind of like a split personality. Like with DC, they're good. With Warner Brothers, it's hot and cold.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's off and on, brother. You know,
exactly.
You know, it's you know, sometimes we good, sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit. We don't know. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Very interesting to see where we go. I almost kind of think that they're also going to have to talk in some generality about a Wonder Woman 3 film, because you kind of have to get that bad taste out of people's mouths for that sequel. Like you have to do something there. Like, I don't care if her and Gal Gadot just come out and send everybody home saying goodnight. Like, I don't care. You got to do something, because that second movie hurt. It hurt a lot of people's sensibilities. So I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do there. I don't know.
I'll say one thing about that movie. It was redeemed because of Serena Williams doing that commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
Black women, thank you.
Exactly.
If that's not a case to put a Nubia movie together, they do a third movie, introduce Nubia, introduce this new Wonder Girl, Yara. Run it, do something like that. Wonder Woman 1984 or 84, I should say, excuse me. It hit different than the first movie. The first movie, the only thing I have a problem with is the end, because it was like the power of love, and I was kind of hoping it was going to be a bigger fight. It was going to be more visceral. If there's a character that you can go dark with, it's Wonder Woman. You can go darker than Batman with Wonder Woman. Because if you look at the movie New Frontier, the animated movie, which is great. If you have a chance to watch it, please watch that. So good. Wonder Woman was like, no, we took all these fools out. We killed them. There's a reason why my rogues gallery isn't as big as yours, because I kill people. And yes, and it doesn't have to be slaughter after slaughter. It doesn't have to be an all bloodbath. But she was born a warrior. She's like half god. I believe in the comics now she's the god of war, or she was in the New 52. I'm not sure about now. I haven't read. Okay. You could even do it, but there are so many different Wonder Woman stories coming out now. There's Dead Earth, which came out recently. Like I said, you can introduce Nubia and Wonder Girl, Yara, who ends up becoming the future Wonder Woman. She's of Brazilian, so you have that Brazilian culture and mythology there. You can do so many things with this. You don't have to just focus on Diana. You can bring in these other characters to mix it up and still have Diana there. But I think that's the best way for them to go, is to introduce these characters into this universe. But in saying that, you have to fix the entire DC universe.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can do it. There are ways to do it, but you have to pick a lane.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't do that. Well, you know what? Yeah. I shouldn't say that, because the guy who was trying to make it an Avengers type atmosphere isn't part of it. Right. So you can go with that more Zack Snyder-esque vision of this universe, which does kind of fit DC, because they've always been darker than Marvel.
Right, and that right there is part of what I just said before. It's complicated part of everything that goes on with this house. right? Like, they don't even really follow their own rules that they establish, which is crazy to me. Like, I'll give a perfect example of how they don't follow their own rules. I don't know how many of you who listen to us and watch us are watching Titans. Now, I like Titans. Titans is a really good show on HBO Max that started out on a defunct DC streaming service called DC Universe. But for the most part, Titans is very well done. It's a very good show. I feel like it's almost a step up above the CW stuff.
Oh yeah,
in a lot of
definitely.
ways.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though it's made by the same production team. So go figure. Right? But we are currently in season 3. I'm not sure you're caught up, brother. You're not caught up, right?
I haven't watched the last episode.
Okay.
I didn't watch this week's, but I'm caught up as far as I haven't watched this week's episode. Let's say.
I might spoil a little something for you. You okay with that?
Is it something that you know that I would really dig? Is it Deathstroke?
No, it's not.
Yeah. You're fine. Then you're fine. Wait.
Okay.
Is it Connor Hawk?
No.
Oh yeah. Those are characters that really hit me. Like Deathstroke and Connor Hawk are two characters that really hit me.
Yeah.
Well, anybody that's part of the Deathstroke line, really, like Ravager and Rose, all of them.
Cool. Yeah. So, how I understood it from the CW side of the house, right, is that when you use because there's a scene in Titans where they use a Lazarus pit, to bring someone back.
I figured that was coming up because it was hinted at and we're also seeing Jason Todd, so we know that's going to come about.
Yes. So what I remember from the CW side of the house is that when you use the Lazarus pit on someone, it normally brings them back not exactly the same as they were before they went in. They almost come back even more sinister and even more kind of dark being brought back. They use the Lazarus pit in this episode of Titans. And the person that they use it on doesn't seem like he comes back any darker than he was before he went in. Which is weird to me, right? Because the CW's gone out of its way to use these crossover events to kind of consolidate their universes, at least as I remembered it being in that very last one that they did. So I don't understand why they have such a hard time kind of following their own edicts or mandates. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like you have to assume that people who are watching, you should assume, not even have to, you should assume that people who are watching the CW shows may also be watching Titans. So shouldn't they all match in some way? Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah, it's about the continuity of it.
The through line should be the same. But it's not. For some reason, it's just not. And that ultimately, to me, is kind of the problem with DC, for the most part, is that they want to tell 18 different stories, 18 different ways, and I'm not sure that works cohesively, though. You know what I mean?
DC has always had, even before the show, stuff like that, their comics have always had a problem with continuity.
Yeah.
That's why they had all these different universes, then they consolidated universes, then they split them up again, then they consolidated again, such like that. So that's not surprising to me. From what I know of the Lazarus Pit, as far as we're talking about the shows, not comics, because comics, a character will come back, they have a rage for a few minutes, there's like a temporary insanity, they forget who they are, and then they get brought back. Actually, they actually did it better with Superman. and they didn't use a Lazarus Pit. It was the cube when he came back. That's kind of what happens with the Lazarus Pit in essence. With this, and yeah, they are all supposed to be one universe now. Which is still kind of funny to me, but I've stopped watching CW shows, so I couldn't I couldn't bloody care. I couldn't bloody care. I'm not watching 20-something episodes for you to tell me nothing. I honestly couldn't give it. I couldn't care less.
I hear you, bro.
All that filler. If I want filler episodes, I'll watch anime. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll watch anime. I don't care. I don't need all that episodes for you to tell me nothing. And then I get 8 episodes. And I get a much better story, much deeper. Still the same amount of laughs and stuff like that. What have you? Whatever. That's always been their thing. Has been a problem with consistency. So that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That unless the character's hiding the dark motives, which they probably aren't thinking storytelling that deeply. Although storytelling has been better to me on Titans than it has been CW. But again, CW going CW.
Exactly.
I mean, let's look at Wildcats. Even though that was a show I watched, I'm saying Wildcats. And if you don't know what Wildcats is, you're welcome. I don't know what you want me to tell you. But that doesn't surprise me that they would bring back a character with a Lazarus Pit. And a Lazarus Pit is something that is one of the staples of DC. That's one of those things that when you hear it, all the images that pop up, you think about Raish. You think about Batman. You think about Jason Todd. You can even think about Damian. Since the last couple of years, the comic that's out now, the series that's out now, Robin, focuses on this Lazarus tournament, and one of the focal points is Lazarus is the pit. So this doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Your reaction.
That's your thing.
Your reaction basically kind of sums up my feelings towards, DC and their relationship with Warner Brothers for umpteen years now. It's like I don't really understand what the problem is over there. It's kind of like because and again, they kind of do it to themselves. This is the part that they never actually want to get up and kind of admit to. They do it to themselves. Like the whole thing with them allowing, which they don't even realize how much of a problem they created for themselves by allowing Zack Snyder to finish a movie that you really didn't want him to finish in the first place, right? Like you didn't want him to finish it, but then you allow him to do it. So now you've created this avalanche that you can't control now. You've given a fan base power, right? Because they've now said to themselves, we can now, internet petition a company to death. You know what I mean? To do something. If we don't support any of the other projects except the one that we want supported, you're going to have a real hard time controlling that fan base, right? DC walked right into that trap. They walked right into the trap. They allowed him to finish the movie. The movie is, and I'm not going to lie, the movie is better than what we got in the theater. It's better.
Yeah, it's much better.
It's much better. But now you want to then try and take this stance against that fan base that you now have empowered and say, well, we're not going to continue down the road of the Snyderverse. Good luck. Good luck with you saying that you don't want to do that now, because your movies in some way are going to have to borrow, to me, even if you don't want to give that guy any credit, you're going to have to borrow in tone from the Snyderverse in order for those things to even be watchable by parts of that fan base now. You know what I mean? Like you might as well leave the Whedon part alone. Like, don't even try to bring someone else in to try and lighten it up, because that's not going to work. People are going to see that a mile away. You know what I mean?
You can have it be like, I mean, because you look at Shazam, you can
Yeah.
have that lighter, but you still have to have that basically because Shazam is lighter, it is, but still look at the dark tones of it as well.
Yeah,
You know, the mother just straight abandoned him; she didn't want him.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still do that because that's still part of DC. That's still part of their foundations. You can have those darker moments,
but I
and
think
still have those
ultimately,
lighter moments too. But you can't.
yeah,
But you can't weeden it up. You can't. Weeden is too much.
yeah, and I think
That's too sweet.
exactly, exactly,
That's a little too much sweetener.
exactly. And I think that ultimately, still, even though Shazam is sort of a lighter property, like you said, I think Shazam is going to have a dark movie as part of its trilogy or quadrilogy or whatever.
Well, that's
when
where
he
Black Adam
finally
comes in.
faces off with Black Adam,
That's
right?
that's where that comes. So they're right there. That's already the link there. So
Exactly.
you have that taken care of if they choose to go that way, which they should.
Yeah.
They, in this instance um, of bowing down, let's say, to the fans, they were right to do it because what they were doing was not working.
Yes.
The fans are are smarter now, much more savvy, and a lot of them are storytellers, writers, artists in whatever medium that they choose. A lot of them are, so they know the beats. It's not just them saying, "Oh, this isn't how it is in the comic." That's not what they're saying. They're saying, "No, that story doesn't work because of this." Boom, boom, boom. Let's look at Aquaman. What's the best part of Aquaman? What's the best part of that movie?
The trench.
Exactly. Exactly. The part that everyone thought we were going to be getting because James Wan.
Exactly.
You don't give us James Wan and then don't let James Wan. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
We needed that because if you think about it, and it's true, underwater is terrifying. Have you seen the fish down there? That shit is creepy. What?
Yeah.
So you have all of this natural um atmosphere and horror that you could have used for that. You could have totally had that be more of a horror. Instead, you gave us that cheesy guitar riff and this kind of rom-com adventure BS. No, and Jason Momoa, who, yes, he looks the part of Aquaman. I mean, the dude is, yes, he is there. He's got it, the muscles, the tattoos, he had all the girls on and in that village. Yeah, you had it there. You did not pull the trigger. You cannot give us that Joss Whedon sweet low type mess.
Sweet low.
I mean, aside from him being a total dick and horrible person, you can't give us that and try. You have to have levels. You have to give that storytelling. You can have a Shazam, but eventually, the lighter tone and the family movie is going to come up against this literal rock in a hard place with Dwayne Johnson. So we need that. So this could be their way of ushering in that darker tone to this more family-oriented film.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with the Flash. I kind of don't care. I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of.
At this point,
I'm honestly not thinking about it. When it comes up, when more comes about it, okay, I'll think about it. Right now, I don't have the space. I don't have the hard drive space to think about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't.
Well, you know how I feel about the person playing the Flash, so I'll leave that alone. But I think I'm more interested in seeing the Flash because they're bringing Keaton back. And I'd love to see how Keaton is going to. I'm not worried about Keaton because I liked Keaton in '89. I liked Keaton in.
Keaton gonna be Keaton. I mean, that's it. Let this dude
I like
go.
Keaton, period. So it will be great to see his Batman back on the screen and how that interacts with what we remember of him in what they're trying to present now.
And what he's been through already, and such as him being older,
right, and I want to see how that all meshes, and I think it will mesh well enough that it'll be an enjoyable film, despite my misgivings on who they have as Flash.
I think this will be a perfect vehicle for Keaton to go to be that older, grizzled Batman that we need for Batman Beyond. That's the film that we need. I'm going to be dead. We need more. That was one of the best animated series out there, and it was, you watch it, you're like, wait, this is for kids? What? They had some of the most horrific stuff on there, and it was a step above animated series as far as like the darker tone.
Yeah.
And then when you find out how Terry became, he literally is the son of Batman, or clone, actually, or clone, but you know, that just adds more layers onto it. And some people who don't know that because they didn't see that episode of just, so there are ways to go, but you can have that because the Flash movie will be a little more whimsical, obviously.
Yeah.
But again, you have that thing there that can bring that tone darker. You have to have that balance.
Yeah.
When you watch Justice League, the incredibly cut, circumcised version of it. Well, it was circumcised because the guy who
like
made it
that,
was
brother.
a dick.
I like that, brother. I like that.
You, let's be real. And it was cut because the guy's a dick. So you get this movie that does feel unbalanced, and even when you're seeing it, you're like, it feels off. It doesn't. There's something is not right. When you watch Dawn of Justice, which Jesus, that name is just ridiculous. And I understand the name, but you didn't have to call it Batman for Superman Dawn of Justice. It's too many words. Stop it. Stop it. It's a long ass hashtag. You feel it there too. The editing is uneven. It's schizophrenic almost. Like it doesn't make sense. But the first movie makes more sense now when you watch Justice League, Snyder's cut. It just makes more sense. That shouldn't be it.
Right.
You shouldn't have to watch a 9-hour movie for this movie from however many years ago to make sense. That's not how. It's one thing if you leave little breadcrumbs and they go, oh, that's what they mean. No, because you're doing it two disservices. One, the original movie that you put out had made no sense to that movie. Secondly, you had to have someone put together their version of the movie, which is long, almost like a miniseries, for this to make sense. There's a lot. That whole bubble right there is messed up. It doesn't make any sense. So that's a huge disservice. But you have to, and they can have that. They can have those moments, but you've got to have it be dark. And I don't mean like, you need, crackheads in the street like shooting up or smoking.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have like people like, smacking, women that would be like that. But this is a universe where you have someone like the Joker. You have the Riddler who's like, oh, I tell riddles, but if you don't get the riddle wrong, you die. Straight up Squid Game up in this piece, man. I mean, Jesus, you know what I mean? You can have that. I mean, yeah, perfect view. I would say honestly, no offense to Joe, but he's not Deathstroke. Bring in Isai. Bring in Isai Morality. He brought depth and gravitas to it. And I know Joe looks he might be better for more of the action if they're trying to go that way. But Deathstroke is also not necessarily a villain. And I know that sounds really weird because some of the dubious stuff that he's done and morally gray and just morally bankrupt stuff that he's done. But he is like this guy who's back and forth. He's been a villain. He's been a hero. He's been an anti-hero. He's been just a killer for money. So he wasn't a bad person. He just got paid to do it. You have characters like that you can play with. This universe is immensely gray. You look at what the Justice League has even done. They've was it Identity Crisis? I think maybe it was a story where they had people's minds erased, a brainwashing. This would make Stark and the others go, what? And Stark and the others broke time. Okay, Stark and the Avengers they're not saints, believe me. They act like it. Oh, we didn't know. We didn't, I don't want to lose everything. Then you shouldn't have fucked with time, Stark. But that's neither here nor there. But you have this universe that's immensely gray. Play with that. Play with that gray sandbox. Play with it. You have this beautiful array of characters you can use.
Yeah. And I think that I think the problem with DC is that they've relied on too many things over the years that they thought they would just be able to throw money at and people would continue to do so. Like, I often say that let's go all the way back to the Dark Knight trilogy, Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. That is a gift and a curse to DC and Warner Brothers. It really is. It's the first time that we actually kind of saw the Batman movies that we wanted, that we've always wanted. And this is no disrespect to Michael Keaton's 89 and, his Batman Returns movies. Those movies are also good.
It was just a different type of movie.
It's different. It's a movie that literally brings the real world into Batman in some ways. And
it kind of starts off with like year one. That's pretty much where they got the idea, right? It was year one.
Yes. And for the most part, all three films are extremely well done by Christopher Nolan. Like, extremely well done. And I think what happened with DC is that I think they kind of, and they may never admit this, but I think that they kind of wanted Nolan to kind of be the steward for what they were trying to do. Like, they literally went out of their way to kind of pair him with Snyder in Man of Steel. Like, they went out of their way and were like, okay, you don't have to direct Man of Steel. We've got the director that we hope will be able to kind of carry this the way we want it to go. But can you produce it? You know what I mean? And he agrees to do so. So in some ways, I think that they were hoping he would kind of be the steward for the whole thing. And they don't really understand Christopher Nolan. Like, this is the problem. They don't really understand his way of thinking about movies and also just what he wants to accomplish with movies. Like, this isn't something that he wants to kind of get stuck in. You know what I mean? Like, he's about making movies. He's about making movies as an art form. So he wants to make the movies that he wants to make. And I think at some point, Warner Brothers has also kind of looked at the handwriting on the wall. They were like, look, do we really want to enter into this kind of relationship with this guy where, yeah, he hangs around and he produces these movies for us, but then at the same time, we have to give him something in between that allows him to, express himself creatively. And those movies are expensive. You know what I mean? So it's like, we can't do this. We can't do this long term. It's not going to work. You know what I mean? And again, like, the rumors of them throwing $50 million at Christian Bale to come back and be Batman, where they didn't understand those relationships either. That, like, those relationships that Nolan creates on screen are often for him and his art. You know what I mean? And it's not like they're gonna just take money to keep going. Like, that's not what they really want to do. So the Dark Knight trilogy raised the expectations for DC and Warner Brothers, maybe unrealistically. You know what I mean? Like, I think that there were things that they could not necessarily match after a trilogy like that. And I don't know. I feel like they're kind of stuck. Like, they're kind of stuck. They're chasing that success. They're going to continue to chase that success. Like, the same way that they're kind of, even though I love Henry Cavill and I love Man of Steel for the movie that it is, they are stuck chasing Christopher Reeve. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
because that's the bar.
Yeah,
that's their bar. That's the bar for Superman, because you can't go Dean Cain. Jeez.
Oh God, I want Dean Cain.
I want him stricken
record. I want him forgotten about. He's the worst. He is the worst.
And we're not just talking about his personality. We mean him as Superman, folks.
Yeah, he is the worst.
And I mean, you know what? And this is the funny part about it. Ben Affleck could have been either an older Bruce Wayne or an older Superman, and
Or an
he
older
was
Superman.
Superman. He did play Superman in that movie, Hollywoodland. I don't know.
Hollywoodland, yes.
Was it Hollywoodland? Yes. He played George Reeves.
George Reeves, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a link there.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, you can't do that now. But and people who talk about Ben Affleck as Batfleck, can you stop with these damn nicknames? Seriously, folks. Just tired, man. Just 43. I'm tired. Just I can't deal with this, man. Seriously. He to me was the better Batman, and I think it's because of everything. It wasn't just him, but it was also the direction, the way the scenes were. It was great. I love it. I love him as Batman. Michael Keaton is on a different level for me. Like he's that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Adam West. You can't touch them, so don't bother trying to compare. Mm-hmm. Like those are the. Mm-hmm. Val Kilmer was a decent Bruce Wayne.
He wasn't bad either. He wasn't bad.
His hair should have been darker, but I mean that's whatever.
But I also think the problem there was who they picked to direct the film. Like, I like Joel Schumacher. I don't think he's right for Batman. I don't think his sensibilities work in that sandbox. They just don't. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes you're gonna get bat cheeks. I don't know what to tell you, bro. That's life. Sometimes you're gonna get bat cheeks, man. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
but he made it very camp. Yeah, and I think that didn't fall in line to what that particular universe was trying to do.
Yeah, I think we were beyond.
If he had made that outside of it, like if there had been something different and it was supposed to be more like a tongue-in-cheek kind of nod to the movies, he could have had Adam West in there as a cameo and doing something, whatever. West would have hammed it up though, exactly. Because that's West. Exactly. But it didn't fall in line with what that universe was trying to do. Yeah. And by itself, as a campy thing, I think he would have rocked a Batman movie. I think it would have been hilarious. I think it would have been fun. Yeah. All the tongue-in-cheek stuff would have been great. George Clooney, ER was a great show. Look, that's all I got to say. Yeah. ER was a great show. I love Doug Ross.
It's interesting that you say it that way now, brother, thinking about it, because, I agree with you. I agree with you that Schumacher's sensibilities probably would have worked had they tried to make maybe a better, more modern version of a live action Batman 66 film.
Yeah, that's where it would have went up, because you had the Batman 66, you have the comic series. I think it's still going on. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. It may have been replaced by the Batman 88 series, which makes sense. But he totally could have done that, and it would have rocked. Give him all the bells and whistles. Give him the bat cheeks. Yeah, bat cheeks all day. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. Why not? Just cheeks everywhere. Just cheek. Whatever. I would, and he would have probably rocked it. He would have. Yeah. But this was at a time where we needed something a bit darker. We needed something different, and Burton was at his heyday. Yeah. Burton was he was starting to become that guy, that dude that don't comb his hair. He was becoming that dude that he was becoming that dude that don't comb his hair, that don't cast black people, except for Samuel L. Jackson. He's that dude, and he did it. He did great with those two moves. Oh, and the Tiny Lister. Yeah, he did that. It's great. Oh, and Billy D. Williams. All right, so 3 black people. My fault. He's not. He's my fault, folks. He hired 3 black people for 2 movies. He doesn't have a problem with skin color. My fault, even though he did say he didn't see a point of whatever. So you know what I mean. But again, that universe shifted. It shifted from being that dark tone, a little more campy kind of. Then it went full camp. Mm-hmm. So we had to get back to that, but then after that, we ended up going back to the Frank Miller-esque Batman and Batman vs Superman and going at it, and I would like a Batman movie again with Affleck, with him. Let's see what happened. Let's see about the Joker. You know what? Don't even make the Joker. You know what? Give us a live action of Hush. Give us a live action of Hush. Give us a live
Yeah.
action of Oh my god. Oh, if you choose to go younger route, give us a live action of The Long Halloween.
Yeah.
Give us a live action of those truly dark Batman stories that are iconic. Tim Sale.
Yeah.
Give give us that Tim Sale all day. I have to read The Long Halloween. I bought that. If you want to go outside of canon, go Black Label. Give us Batman White Knight. White Knight is amazing. I have the second part of it, Batman Curse of the White Knight. Um, it finally came out in the trade paperback, the soft cover, which is what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I also have it on digital too. But I just wanted to give anyone comics some money. Shout out to y'all. I'll be real with you. You know, it would. Yeah, let's do things like that. If you want to go outside of canon, use those elsewhere stories.
Yeah.
Use those, and
Yeah.
we should. Yes, art as far as animation. Pharaoh Ramsey actually brought up last show. Will we be getting something like Elsewhere's? Elseworld, excuse me. I know, like I say, you don't have to compete. You don't have to, but those Elseworld stories,
Yeah.
bring that series back.
Yeah.
Bring that back. Make it Dark Label. I think they're actually going to have something. It's going to be called, oh my god, Knights of the Dark or something like that, where it's like more of a medieval
Yeah.
version of the thing's like a 6 dimension series. Excited about it because it looks phenomenal. Dan Moore is doing the covers, I believe. Give us something like that in live action, or do the Elseworlds animated. That would be awesome. You guys have rocked animation for so long.
Yeah.
You haven't. Last thing you put out was The Long Halloween.
Yeah.
But stop doing those 2-part things. Just make it one movie. Just stop that.
Yeah. It looks like
You're all grown ass people here. Stop that.
it looks like
Is the queue forming for Fandome?
actually looks like it started already.
Oh, really?
And looks like they are going to talk about Harley Quinn, so it looks like that's definitely coming back.
Folks.
They're also going to talk about Naomi.
Oh yes, because that on CW I will watch.
Yeah.
Oh my, yes, I had forgotten that was even a thing. Yes, phenomenal.
Yeah, and there was something else they just flashed. I can't remember. They flashed it so quickly that they were going to talk about too.
Folks.
But that brings it back. Yeah, that brings it back full circle to what you were saying at the beginning of the show, is that you finally have this apparatus in HBO Max where you can kind of do these things. Like, you know, I'm going to be honest. You do not need to have a standalone Ben Affleck Batman film. If you want to do that, do a miniseries. Like you said, do a Hush miniseries with Ben Affleck on HBO Max. You better believe people would be killing themselves to either try and get a free trial or sign up for whenever that show finally drops all its episodes, and they will watch it.
You could even do what was the kid's name that is on our favorite show, Euphoria, that plays the jock? I can't remember his name. Because I said the way he was in that one episode was Batman. He was Batman to the core. This is what you do. You can do those miniseries that you were talking about. You can do the stuff with Affleck. Do a couple with a younger Batman.
Yeah.
And cast him in it.
Yeah.
Because that's the first thing I thought of when he was talking, the way he was doing it. I was like, that's Batman right there. This dude has been with the League. This dude has seen some things. That is who should have, when Christian Bale went off, that's who should have came back.
Yeah.
That's who should have came back. He also does that dual role thing on the show as well.
Yeah.
So you can do things like The Long Halloween, such like that, where he's younger. And you can still do those older stuff too with Affleck. You can do. I mean, that might be a little too far fetched, and that's a lot to do. I understand that, but you've got the sandbox. This is like moving out and getting your own apartment, and you still are all covered. Man, walk around butt naked. That's your place. You can do what you want. Do what you want, man. Cheeks out all day. Cheeks out all day. Do it. And you have this platform where you were talking about, friends, never. That was how you were trying to get people to. And now look at what people are flocking to.
Yeah,
they're flocking to your original content.
Right.
I don't know how well that reunion did, but who really gave a crap? Because you had things like the flight attendant.
I gotta turn that down, bro.
Damn, bro.
They're actually showing a. It looks like they're showing a
trailer.
Yeah, trailer for Black Adam.
This is it, folks.
Sorry, brother.
This is why
I'm out here distracted during the show.
Brother, this is what I'm talking about. Folks, this is what I'm talking about. When we say something, we're honestly talking about, we're actually trying to get to the nitty-gritty of things and the fandom itself. And
brother, you gonna like that. You gonna like that teaser trailer. They don't show much, but what they do show is insane. That last part of that trailer is insane. That's all I gotta say,
folks. Like I said, whatever you're trying to do now, I was tired of 10 years ago when I did it. Yeah. There's a reason. Look, say whatever the hell y'all want. Yes, I am wild. Sometimes I say some wild shit, do some wild shit, crazy. Say so much. I've always talking about food, what have you. But there is a reason why I say the things I do. I'm not new to this game. I've studied the game. I've studied the people at cons. I've studied this. I've looked at it. I've checked out who it is. Sometimes, yes, I do have my brain farts. I know I do. It's true, but there's a reason. There's always a method for my madness. When I say something, I'm dead serious about it, and I know what I'm talking about. That's it. We get to the focus of the fandom, and we try to mix the fun and what we like, and we criticize. But when we criticize, always want to make sure that we give a remedy of what can fix whatever we're criticizing. Now, I know we're not ones who are out here just shouting out people's names and making up stuff. We got this covered, but yes. Can you get this covered, mother?
Yes.
I like that, but there's a reason why.
Yeah, absolutely.
2022. It's the year of the fandom.
Yeah, I agree.
You're welcome. I'm telling you in advance, you're welcome, because you're going to be saying thank you later. You are welcome. I'm telling you.
I agree. Like, you see it. You see the companies that are really aggressively trying to, it's not even funny. Like, you see it all the time. You see the Netflixes of the world. You see the Disneys of the world. You see a lot of these companies getting IP into arms race. You know what I mean? Like, whoever has the most IPs that people are really interested in are probably going to win. You know what I mean? And it's what you do with that IP too, though, that matters. Like, can you bring a fresh approach to that IP that you have?
Yeah, because you can't just bring it in and then that's it. You can't. You have to make it hot. You have to update it somehow. You have to. I mean, look at Why the Last Man, which is Vertigo, which was part of DC.
Right.
They updated it. They had to, because nowadays everything we know about identity and how people feel and how people identify, and that show hits. It's so thought-provoking and so well done. I didn't expect the nudity. Holy shit. But I was like, wait, what? Bush? Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't vote for him. I didn't. What? So but how you take that IP, like you take old IP and you can update it. make it more relevant for today, and still carry that story, that core story. As long as you have the foundation, I will say this till the day I die, and when I come back and I'm resurrected, I'll say it again.
Yeah,
it's all about the foundation. It's all about that core. You start from there and you build from that. Just like a seed, it starts from there and it builds from that. You can take that, you can update it, but as long as you keep, like, you can update Batman for whatever you want. I say Batman because that's what they keep wanting to play with. But you can update it. Like, look at Batman, the Beyond Batman. You still have that same core.
Yeah.
You find out why you have the same core because
exactly. But
it still matters.
Yeah, but and that ultimately is also another problem, right? Like, we are way overdue for Batman Beyond anything. Batman Beyond anything update, Batman Beyond live action movie, Batman Beyond live action series, if you want to do it that way. We are way overdue for that. Like, that happened when?
That was I think I was in high school.
Right.
I think I can't, I'm trying to remember. But it was a long time. This is how long ago it was. I didn't know nothing about sweatpants. That's how long ago it was. You know, that's a long time ago. Yeah. It was before the silver. It was before the gray. It was a long time ago.
Exactly. Like, you gotta start leveraging these properties. Like, even Disney, for the most part. Yes, they spend all this money buying Marvel. Yes, they spend all this money buying Star Wars. But even they have figured out that, you know what? We can't just sit back on streaming the Star Wars trilogy into the ground and make money off of that. We can't just make regular movies of Star Wars and make money off of that. We have to kind of try and do things differently. Like, their biggest difference right now is something that, when you kind of think about it, always kind of lended itself to Star Wars, because there are elements of that in Star Wars that never have really been exploited the way that they needed to be. This animated anime show that they have Visions on Disney Plus. Like, those anime principles have always existed in Star Wars. They've never kind of thought of a way to kind of pull that out and make it something completely original and exploit it until now. You know what I mean?
And anime is huge. I mean, it's the way it's boomed over the last let's say 5 years. Is incredible. You know? So it just made sense for it to have, and again, it's another foray into animation. Which was needed because Marvel hadn't had an animated movie since what? Hulk versus?
I believe so. Yeah.
Which was, I watched that movie so many damn times. I absolutely love that movie. But and there was a time when there was a bit of a hot streak. Maybe a lukewarm streak. Not exactly hot. I remember there being stories like oh my god, The Punisher and Black Widow, which I loved. Then they had a couple of like those CG computer graphic ones that kind of look like Reboot. It's basura. Let's not do that. Then they did have the X-Men anime, the Blade anime, and Iron Man anime. Even the Fantastic Four series, the second one, looked a little anime-ish. It had anime vibe to it. It had anime scent to it. Anime adjacent.
Yes.
It had the taint of anime to it. So
yes, the taint.
Never forget the taint, folks. So look, don't care. It's National Kink Month, folks. I don't give a damn. Suck it up. So you have to, when you can take those properties and find different ways to, here's a funny word to use for Marvel, to mutate them and just give flavor to them, give them something different. You have to. So something like Elseworld, the What Ifs, great, bringing you back to animation. You're linking it in a very adjacent way to your MCU, but still making it its own property while still making it canon.
Yeah, and you're opening a door there, because if the animation resonates with people and they like it, it opens up a whole new avenue for you to start telling stories that maybe you have on the back burner for live action that may work a lot better in animation. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
that's
just
how you do it.
Yeah, you have to. So, I mean, DC, Warner Brothers, their stronger suit was the animation, and they've done a lot of different things with animation. Like there was, what was it, Batman Ninja, Ninja Batman, something like that.
Yeah, man,
crazy, crazy, wild, but it's different.
It's different.
And it was, and that was felt like an Elseworld story. Red Sun is an Elseworld story. So you have them there, just make a whole series of them, of movies, so say give them that Elseworlds title, like that little marker that put it there, and that could be a whole subgroup that you have on HBO Max. I shouldn't be telling you your job, folks. You should be telling me what you have.
Would absolutely work in the Elseworlds brand if that's what they wanted to do. If you want to do an Elseworlds brand, those books that they came out with in the last 2 years, where it was like, oh,
bring that series
the
back.
Death of Superman, what would happen if Lois got the powers instead? Those would work perfectly in an Elseworlds title.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Red Rain.
Yes, Red Rain. You have the stuff.
One of the
like you don't have
best. There was Speeding Bullet.
Yeah.
There was where it was where Kal-El was actually raised by the Waynes. Then there was another one where it was the ring, the Green Lantern ring found Bruce Wayne. He became a Lantern. There was the medieval one. There was my God, there have been so many. You have so many incredible stories you can tell. DC. Look, if you need help, just hit me up. That's it. Just hit me up.
I mean, they have an interesting way of. They have real potential here, and I don't think they kind of see it. Like, I don't really think that they think outside of this perception that HBO is prestige television. Like, this is the problem. Like, you guys get stuck in that mindset that you think prestige television doesn't include animation. I beg to differ. Like, if you do good animation, that could be a cornerstone of prestige television that you've never really tapped into. You did once before.
I would say that Harley Quinn is quite prestigious.
Spawn? Prestige television?
Spawn is one of the best series.
Yeah.
We're going to do a show about Spawn.
Yeah.
That could be a Halloween show, because goddamn, that show's amazing.
You could literally create an Elseworlds, and I'm not saying you need to do as an anthology show, but you could literally say season 1A is going to cover this story, right? Beginning to end. And then the second half of the season could be another story.
Yeah.
Beginning to end. And that would be your literal season. Then you go put it out on video, whatever else you want to do with it.
Yeah, put it on the network before you put it on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Put it on the network first.
Because you guys got a bad habit. Yeah. I'm still waiting for Son of the Dragon to come on. Damn. Which is ridiculous, because Son of the Dragon came out before Long Halloween, and Long Halloween is on there now.
Yeah,
is on HBO Max. Get it together, guys. Seriously.
It's.
You know what?
The mindset over there is mind-boggling.
Get it together, guys, and get some people in the office other than guys, other than old dust pocket men.
Yeah.
Get new blood in there, please. Yeah. There are so many. You have so many opportunities. All right, so let's wrap this up a bit.
Yes.
So, what have we learned? What are the bullet points for this show? Go outside of the box. Go outside of what you're used to. Go outside of your own heads. Think of it as whatever you put on that service is prestige television. is a prestige movie, is a cornerstone of what you want to do. Don't think of competing with someone. Think ahead.
Yeah.
Don't worry about competing. Just think ahead.
Yeah.
Storytelling, continuity. Damn that. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
You? What are you what's your bit about it?
My thing is, don't overcomplicate things. Like, you need to get out of the mindset of the old mindset of what television used to be. I think that that's one of the things that really hurts HBO and also Warner Brothers as a studio, is that they are so accustomed to doing things a certain way, and their perception is that this is how people see them on the outside, as this thing. You can't stay that thing forever. Like, that thing may have worked in 1980. That thing may have worked in 1995. You have to be more encompassing now because your audience is so broad now. Like, no one can understand how broad the audience now is in television. It never used to be this broad. It is incredibly broad now. Like, your younger demographic skews even younger now than it used to. Your older demographic skews even older now than it used to. Like, you have to get out of this mindset that, and Antonio said it perfectly, that prestige television is any and all one thing. It's not. It's not. Like, if you do stories well, and I'm not saying they need to be half-assed. I'm not saying that at all. If you do them well, like Spawn was done well, like Spawn was a risk at the time that they put it on. Like, there's no guarantee that they could have known how well that show would do when they put it on. They basically put it on late at night, almost because they thought it wouldn't do well. And when it created this following, I think even they were surprised at how many people were watching that show on Friday nights when no one's home.
And the fact that it was from a company that nobody knew about, Image. I mean, people knew about it, but they didn't know about it.
Right.
But Spawn was one of the most popular comics. Like, that first issue was one of the most popular. My girlfriend in high school at the time has that issue.
Yeah.
It was one of the most. It was one of the biggest comics ever out there, and it's amazing. And that series was incredible. 3 seasons. 3 seasons. I want to say.
Three
and
seasons,
having McFarlane open up each episode was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's what they love doing that, because they also had Crypt Keeper doing that mess too. So.
Yeah, true.
I mean, not that McFarlane's Crypt Keeper, but I'm just saying.
True. And I think
he was sitting in the same chair.
Right. And, exactly. And I think that's the other thing that goes along with what we're saying. Like, get to know who your fan base is. Like, I think DC Fandome is a good step in the right direction on understanding who your fans are, what they want to see, that you want to engage in a relationship with them to kind of understand how they feel about what you're going and what you're doing and where you're going with it. That's an absolute good step in the right direction. But with that said, you cannot in any way, shape, or form talk down to your fan base. Can't do it. Can't do it. You have listen, and I'm not defending people in the fan base in the fandom that are jerks. I'm not defending those people at all. I'm simply saying, don't assume that the very few people who are the jerks are the entire fandom, because they aren't. Your fandom is a lot larger than that. You have to treat them and talk to them like they are fans, like they've been fans since the very beginning, And more importantly, like they are the people who will bring more people into this tent. Because if you don't do that, you're always going to be stuck in the situation of
exactly.
It's complicated how we feel about you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I also wonder if they're going to say anything about Genlock season 2, possibly.
I don't know. Was that supposed to come back in season 2?
Yeah. There's actually going to be a season 2.
Hmm.
So I'm curious about that. But look, next week we'll tell you about more whatever's going on. Something we've heard. Obviously, I will have words about the. I'm not even calling it Black Adam. The Teth Adam teaser.
Yeah.
Damn that. His mama calling Teth Adam. I'm calling Teth Adam. This ain't the Black Vulcan show. You have to kick my ass on that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like they really should have put the hub, because I'm looking at HBO Max now. They really should have put Fandome on here.
Yeah,
they really should have.
They should have done it as a live, live stream or something like that.
Yeah, they definitely should have done that. They do have. I did not realize this. There is a Aquaman King of Atlantis series with one episode out so far, and it is a 45-minute episode. I'm gonna have to check this out.
What is it, animated?
Yes. Alongside trusted allies Mira and Vulko, King Aquaman faces unscrupulous surface dwellers, ancient evils from beyond time, and his half-brother's attempts to overthrow him, all to prove that he's the right man for the throne. Is this a comedy, or is this... Because the animation looks like it could almost be like a little bit of a comedy. And it's a joke. Either way, you know what? Bet this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Does it say who the crew is? Of course not. Why the hell would it? Also, you know what? Let me see if I can just hit the episode. And does crew Cooper Andrews, Jillian Jacobs, Thomas Lennon, who I do like, Dana Snyder. Don't know who the hell it is. It's PG. It's rated PG. So I mean, yeah. So I'm gonna check this out. This looks. It might be kind of good. He's got melanin. He's got some darker skin. So you know I'm there for that. I wonder if Aqua Lad will show up. That would be interesting to me too. Executive producer James Wan. Okay, bet I'm in. The animation is kind of like Cartoon Network animation, which makes sense because Cartoon Network is under their umbrella.
Yeah,
but you got me at James Wan.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. You got me on there, so I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah, bet. Okay, cool. So on that note, Michael, sir,
yes, sir.
Look, yeah, this has been like our goofing around episode. Obviously, this is just summer came back for like a day. There's not necessary for it. But what would you rate this show, sir? On a scale of 1 to grilled cheese, what would you rate?
1 to grilled cheese.
Yeah. What the hell?
Grilled cheese with truffle butter.
This man has been watching Food Network and has been watching some Chopped, some Guys Grocery Games,
yeah,
and some Bobby Flay before he's gone.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Yes, sir. Once again, he found a way to break. Look, he found a way to break the scale. I had it 1 to grilled cheese. This man said grilled cheese with truffle butter. He broke the scale again, y'all. You can't stop this man. He can't stop.
Shout out to Mechanical Pencils, who's been in the chat.
Yes, thank you.
She said truffle butter is life.
Yo, hey, dude.
What is life?
What is life? Truffle butter. Wasn't expecting an actual answer. It's kind of a rhetorical question, but fair enough. Michael answered the question. Cool. So on that note, sir, this has been Michael Williams.
Yes, sir.
Any final words for the folks? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Don't be a dick. Period.
Hey, that's my line.
I know it's your line.
It's my line. For me, look, to piggyback on that, don't be a cunt. This is obviously not going to be for the kids. I waited till the very last minute to make this not for the kids. There you go. They ain't mine, so it's cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
Look, y'all enjoy the rest of the day. Keep coming back. Like, subscribe, share. Listen to the audio, listen to the video. If you watch the video, you probably laugh a little bit more because you'll see what the hell I'm doing, and that most of it makes no damn sense. But we do love when you are out and about and you've downloaded the podcast version and you're out and about doing your thing. You're at the grocery store, which is where I'm going to go, and I'm going to eat everything up in aisle 7. And just, I don't know why I put that particular aisle. I don't even know what's in aisle 7 like that. I really should have did my research before I just blurted that out.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, it's still October, still National Kink Month. Enjoy your kink. I hope you have a really great orgasm tonight with whomever.
Mechanical Pencil said throw up the R rating.
Right,
let's throw up the NC-17 rating while we're doing it.
You know what? Real quick. Funny thing is, whenever I would see NC-17, I always would think of like the Star Trek, the ships. Starships, because they always would have that. Yeah. Like, I would always say that. I was like, what's going on in holodeck? Then you find out what's going on in holodeck on Deep Space Nine. Shit was real. Definitely don't want that job of cleaning that mess up. You know, Klingons be getting rough up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So happy National Kink Month to everyone for October. We'll see you next Saturday at noon. Don't know what we're going to be talking about. Yeah, you know what we might do? Maybe a prelude to some horror. Sir, we could talk about
Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills. There we go. Which is available in theaters and is also available. I didn't realize this. It's also available on Peacock.
Yes.
If you do not feel safe going into theaters, I totally understand. We'll also have. Oh my God. Dune is going to be next week. Ooh, very exciting. Yes. I've been waiting. I'm watching Dune twice. I'm going to see it in theaters. Then I'm going to watch it at home. Just in case I got to go, because I'm at home. I'm in a theater and I'm like, damn, I can't hear it. I got to, what? And I go to rewind and I realize I'm not in control. It's not my house. That's why all these people are in here. This ain't my house. I don't live here.
Yeah.
All right. So keep coming back. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Give us ratings on wherever you're getting your podcast. Give us a rating. Give us, however many stars, a plethora of stars if you like. Give us a rating. Let us know how you feel. We love the feedback. We love it. And it helps us be seen more so we can do more, so we can have a panel one day at New York Comic-Con. And one day they're going to be like, look, I don't know if you guys realize, but we've got Fandome initiatives here at San Diego Comic-Con. And everybody's like, yeah, with the old ride. Crazy. Yes, we love it. Great. All right. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Yes.
Watch awkwardly as I end this podcast and I do a little shoulder shuffle because y'all going to take the shoulders. Y'all going to take this Hiei shirt too.